keep, a major artery is now one step closer to getting unclogged.
David Winter is live along Columbia Parkway with a vote that paves the way for $17 million in repairs. David.
Well, Paula, the City Council as a whole will vote on Wednesday on two proposals. If either one of them passes, there will be a fix, hopefully, at least temporarily, for all of this mud flow coming off of the hill and improving the flow on this very heavily traveled artery.
Time's up. We got to get it done now.
The Budget and Finance Committee on a mission today to drive forward with a plan to fund fixing Columbia Parkway's landslide issues. At issue is the flow of mud and debris the rain brings down onto the parkway. It has snarled traffic for years and is now coming to a head.
We've inherited a problem that goes back 90 to 100 years ago from poor engineering practices.
The Hillside Trust advocates for responsible use and preservation of hillsides in Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. Glacial rock and soil issues from millions of years ago aside, the executive director says when Columbia Parkway was constructed in the 1920s, the builders either chose to ignore or did not have the acumen to engineer against slides in the future. I asked whether $17 million would fix the problem. He said perhaps temporarily, but a permanent fix might be beyond our reach.
And I'm sure that what they're doing right now is just the beginning of more money being spent down the road, too. I think this is just the very beginning of that.
The answer, says Russo, is to stop building in places that are prone to slides, like this proposed 40 luxury home development at the end of Walworth Avenue. Of course, revenue from the homes will help pay for things like spending $17 million on abating landslides. Deciding where that money comes from is about as clear as mud. The committee pushed through two proposals today. One would take about $6 million from money that would have completely funded the new District 5 police station. The other would leave that money alone and take the lion's share from the capital budget.
I think taking more and more money out of our capital budget is a bad idea. I think we're going to need those dollars for other emergency situations, for critical services.
The notion of taking dollars from capital budgets to put toward capital projects like police stations and Columbia Parkway, what more higher causes is the capital budget there for than things like that?
Again, both proposals being pushed through by committee today. Both will result in $17 million spent by taxpayers if on Wednesday the City Council as a whole decides to do something to abate some of this mud. Reporting live on Columbia Parkway, David Winter, back to you.
Be careful. Are you near Kemper? Is that where it is? Because it looks like there's new debris just over the wall. Is that by Kemper?
Yes, exactly. And but all along here, there are little spots of mud coming over. You can pretty much pick a spot every 1,000 feet or so.
All right. Thank you, David. Well, the tri-state is one of the costliest areas in the country for landslide damage. The latest U.S. Geological Survey study is 40 years old, but it shows even back in 1980, only the San Francisco Bay Area had higher annual costs to clean up after landslides. Hamilton County in 1978 spent nearly $5.2 million. That was the equivalent to about $20 million in today's dollars. The USGS at the time recommended communities examine their costs of landslide damage and evaluate alternative programs like planting foliage, which could significantly reduce future losses.